Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm getting ready to head out on the road. I got a road trip up to Rosemont, which is up near the Chicago area. I'm actually going to be heading out to help a good friend of mine. He's got a tournament today, and so I'm going to be taking up some equipment for him. And before I get out on the road, I kind of wanted to go over some of the things you need to think about before you go on a road trip. And so the first thing I want to talk about is kind of the captain obvious. Make sure you go fill up your vehicle, okay? I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes you get ready to get on the road and you meant to fill it up, but you just didn't. Something else to think about is where are you going to get your next tank of gas? Don't wait until you're down to that like eighth of a tank of gas and then you decide, oh crap, I need to stop, right? So have a plan before you do that as well. Now, before you head out, a couple of things that you need to think about as well. Make sure you check your tires. Go around, make sure that there's no obvious damage on your tires. Make sure you get them filled back up at the proper pressure. Another thing is you want to go around and check all your lights. Make sure they're operational. Make sure left turn signal, right turn signal, brakes, things of that nature all work. Headlights are really important too. All right, and then you might want to go and check some of your fluids. Check your brake fluid, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, radiator fluid, just all the basic fluids that are up underneath the hood. And then another thing I like to do is I like to check my mirrors and the windows. I like to wash them just because when I get out on the road, you never know. And if it's wintertime, well, it's a little bit harder. You know, they're going to get dirty anyway. But when you start off, it's always nice to be able to see out the windows where you're going. So with that being said, let me take you around. I'm going to take you to the back of the van. I'm just going to show you what I keep in my vehicle pretty much all the time. I never really take it out. A couple things I do rotate because of the season, but other than that, I keep them in the vehicle all the time. All right, so stick with me and let's go take a look. Okay, so here we are. I'm at the back end of the van, and I just wanted you to kind of see what's here on the back end now. Obviously, you can see the mat sitting there. That's what I'm actually loading up and taking up to Rosemont. But the rest of this stuff is just kind of stuff that stays in my van year-round. Now, you'll notice over here I got my little power pack. That's kind of handy to have, but most importantly is it's a jumper set as well. I've got jumper cables in here. You'll see those in a minute, but that power pack's nice to have if your battery on your cell phone goes bad, or if you've got another appliance that you need to plug in that you have with you on the road. There's a case of water. I always take a full case of water with me when I head out on the road. Whether I use it or not, I don't care. Eventually you're going to need it, so I just keep it with me. You'll notice back here in the back I also keep an extra thing of paper towels in case I need to wipe up spills or take care of things of that nature. Down here I've got my jack. It's just a little hydraulic jack. It's nice to have in case you got to change your tire. And with that in mind, that's kind of what you'll notice here up on the top. Alright guys, so here's a look at some of the things that I take with me. Now you're welcome to take whatever you want in your vehicle. I'm certainly not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't take. This is just what I take. I've been on the road several times. I travel a lot to and from the Chicago area. Because of my other business, I go to and from Little Rock a lot, sometimes other places. Most of the time when I travel, I get to fly, but when I'm going to drive, I got things that I just want to make sure that I have with me, all right? So I got this little 15-gallon tote, and I keep almost all of it inside of there. Now, I showed you earlier what's inside the vehicle. Again, I keep a case of water in there. I always keep the jack with me. I've got a little battery backup power system that I can use to put some air in the tires if I need to, or do a quick jump on the van if I have to. And then paper towels and duct tape. It doesn't take up much space. It just sits in the back. It's nice to have in case of an emergency. All right, so let's take a look at what's inside the tote here. Now again, one of the first things you got to kind of plan for when you're going on a road trip is flat tire. That's kind of Captain Obvious. So the jack is in there. This is the actual handle for it, and I keep it inside the tote because if you put it in your car, most likely it's going to roll around, and then you're not going to be able to find it in the dark, in the winter, on a side road. Yeah, all those lovely things. All right. Along with that, I've got a spinner. Now, what you can't see in here is that I do have an impact driver. I'll pick that up when I get over to the school. I keep that in there because I use it for other things up there as well. This is a special tool. It's a lug nut. It helps you to remove the lug nuts, but it's also got an extra piece on the end that I use to get the spare tire down, which is underneath the back side of the van. Now, most of the time, if you're going to have a problem on the road, it's usually going to be either a tire or it's going to be your battery, so I keep an extra set of jumper cables. This is mostly so I can help other people and if the battery pack goes bad. Okay? I keep a little bit of food in here in case it's just me out on the road, an extra bottle of water, even though I got a whole case inside of the van. Now, other things that I keep in here, I've got a little small first aid kit, and I can kind of show you a little bit about what's in here. Everybody should have their own little personal first aid kit, and also it kind of depends on your skills and your ability, the amount of training that you've had. This has just got an emergency blanket in it. I've got some scissors in here, a couple of different things of gauze. I've got tweezers because that's usually the kind of stuff in the car that you're going to run into. I got Band-Aids in case the kids get hurt. Q-tips are always nice to have. I got some tape in here, extra bandages. These are some large gauze pads. I've got a poncho in here, an adult poncho, and then looks like more gauze. So it's just a really simple basic kit, guys, and you can put as much or as little as you want to. Most of the time when I go on the road, because I do a lot of tournament stuff, a lot of tournament travel, I've got a trauma pack that I take with me. It's a big gigantic bag, and it literally has everything you would ever need. Up next, I've got some just basic tent stakes. It's a 10-pack. I keep them in there in case I have to build a shelter, or if for some reason I needed some extra shade in the van because I'm out in the middle of nowhere and it's super duper hot. Towel. Nice to have an extra towel in case you get wet or in case you need it for warmth. If your car's going to break down on the side of the road, it's nice to have mechanics gloves to work on it. I've got some extra heavy-duty gloves in case I have to move anything hot, heavy, things of that nature. I got a hammer. This one's a little bit heavier than you normally need, but I like to have the extra weight for it in case I'm working on a tire that's really hard. Hatchet. Now, there's a lot of different uses for a hatchet. I know that being an emergency kit seems silly. I actually use this thing up at my school a lot of times for like those weeds that just grow up out of everywhere. And so, because you never know where your stuff is at, or if you don't have it completely organized like this, sometimes you'll have a tool like this. You know you got it, but you just don't know where it's at. Well, I like to keep it in the kit. Then I can find it. Now, this is a big flashlight. As you can see, I'll turn it on. You can tell that it works. I keep it in here as a backup. I also keep one in the door of my van just in case. That's a headlamp, and I use that one all the time, especially at night when I'm putting stuff in and out of the van. Electrical tape. I actually just needed some of this the other day and couldn't find it, so I went and grabbed another roll, put it back in here, so I've got it. Up next, this is an extra set of gloves. These are winter gloves. These are for my kids. I keep them in here. Most of the time, they're pretty good now at keeping their coats and their hats and their gloves with them when they go out. But just in case they get wet or if for some reason they forgot them, I've got an extra set in the van. Microfiber towel, always nice to have. An extra piece around. This is my bigger toolkit. All right, I keep a lot of littler things in here. What you decide to put in your toolkit is going to depend on your experiences, the things that you've run into. I have things like a short drop cord. I like to keep that in there. Seems like you're always in need of one somewhere. I keep an extra phone cord in case my phone cord gets damaged or lost, or if somebody decides that they need it more than you, you've got a backup for that. Zip strips, lots of zip strips. I got some longer ones, and then I got some shorter ones in here. This is just a package of little wire brushes. Most of the time, what you need these for is like a battery, if you're going to clean a battery terminal, or if you're changing the tire, and of course the lug nuts are really extra rusty, it's nice to have them. I got some chem lights in here. I got a pair of regular pliers, and I got a pair of the kind that has the actual wire cutter on them. Nice to have those. This right here is the actual driver for the bits. I keep the bits in here. It's a big package of them. I like to have extra bits on there because it seems like everything gets made with a different nut, bolt, or screw. So I have options. Like I said, smaller ones for the zip strips. This is actual wire cutters. It's just an extra pair. I had 2 or 3 of these laying around, so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to put one in my bag. I want to make sure that I know where they are. Glass breaker. Hopefully you don't need this thing while you're in your car, but if you have to pull over and help somebody and you can't get inside of the vehicle, one of these would be nice to have. You can run over, grab your kit. You can break that window if you have to. Fixed blade knife I keep in there. This is an adapter that will allow you to bend, twist, and use it on the different bits with that driver. Little pry bar. It's not huge. It's kind of small. As you can see, it fits right inside of this package. But it's always nice to have it in case you have to pry something open. And then, of course, another chem light. And that's a smaller hatchet. And another multi-tool. All right. So I keep all of that stuff in here as well. I've got a set of batteries and then a couple of smaller sets of bits. That's just the toolkit. Now, you can decide as much or as little as you want to put in your toolkit. I don't have that much in there because, quite honestly, if your vehicle breaks down on the road, chances are you don't have the parts to replace them. You're going to have to call somebody. You're going to have to get some help. But it's nice to have this stuff in case you're trying to help somebody else. Or, like I said, if you're at home and you know you got a pair of pliers and you can't find them, well, just go to your toolkit in your vehicle. All right, moving on. I've got an extra hat. It's nice to have that year-round. Doesn't matter. In the fall, like right now, it's starting to get a little bit chillier. It's only about 60 degrees outside. In the fall and going into the beginning of winter, it could be 70, 80 degrees in the daytime, and it could drop down to 40 degrees at night. Have a flat tire stuck on the side of the road. Nice to have that extra equipment. A pair of cotton gloves in case you need them. This is an extra pair of adult-sized gloves for somebody if they were with us. I also keep in here, I got a couple extra microfibers, bolt cutters. Nice to have in case you needed to cut. Wire. I don't get into too many locks personally, but if somebody's going to need them, that's probably what they're going to need them for. Or if they know you have them, you're always going to be loaning them out to somebody. Trash bags. I keep a couple of trash bags in there. These have multi-purpose. Again, you can use them for all kinds of things besides just picking up trash. You can use them to line your body if you needed to, or help you with your tarp, waterproofing things. Bungee cords. I keep an assortment of bungee cords, a few different sizes in there in case you need to strap something either to your vehicle or just hold something down when you're out on the road. I keep a couple of different kinds of masks in here, the N95 masks. These are the white ones, and I also have a set of black ones in here. Let me find them. Maybe I already dropped them out. But I keep 2 different sets in here. Vest for the side of the road. If you're out on the road and you've got to work on your vehicle, it's always nice if they can see you. Obviously, you're going to be able to see them. You're going to hear them. A lot of times people aren't really good at moving over, so it's nice to make yourself visible. This is an extra hatchet that I got from a friend of mine in the military. I keep a small shovel in here. This is the SOG. I like it in case you had to have it for digging a pit of some sorts while you're out on the road, especially if you're going to get stuck on the side of the road for any length of time. WD-40 Always nice to have, especially if you're going to do your lug nuts on your tires. You can always spray them before you try to take them off. This is kind of a thing that I just recently added. I've got a 1-pound propane tank, and then of course I've got the attachment for it in case I needed to heat something up, or in the wintertime, if you've got a lot of snow and ice on something, it's nice to be able to melt that off. And then of course in the bottom I have my tarp. I always keep at least one good tarp in there as well. Now as you can see, that's a lot of stuff, and it all fits inside of this 15-gallon tote. Again, you're going to have to decide, depending upon where you live, what you think you're going to need in an emergency. Now the nice thing is I have all this stuff in my vehicle. A lot of this stuff I already had laying around the house, guys. I didn't have to go out and buy it. This particular item I wanted this specifically, but I've had them in the past. I just didn't think about keeping them for my vehicle, and after they got used, I just kind of threw them away. So look around the house, see what you've got, see what you can put together for a car kit. It's always nice to have a kit in your car. Keep some safety stuff in there. That way you've got it in case of your emergency. Hey, do me a favor and tell me, what do you put in your car? Do you have an emergency kit? Do you keep anything in there in case of an accident? Also, if you like this content, do me a favor. Go down in the section down below and make sure you hit the like button. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. Make sure, if you really like it, go over there and hit that icon, that bell icon, and you'll get notification when the next one comes out, all right? Hey, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in the next one.